If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The anticipation is over after months of speculation, analysis, and endless back and forth among fans and analysts alike. NFL Draft Week has officially arrived. And with it comes the final opportunity for predictions, hypotheticals, and wishful thinking to take the stage before the picks are locked in and the futures of franchises are rewritten. For the Cleveland Browns, this year's draft represents not just another chance to build their roster, it's a pivotal moment that could shape the identity of this team for years to come. At the heart of this scenario is one of the most electrifying prospects the draft has seen in recent memory: Travis Hunter. If there was any lingering doubt about the Browns' intentions at the top of the draft, those uncertainties were laid to rest after General Manager Andrew Berry addressed the media last week. During his pre-draft availability, Berry couldn't contain his admiration for Hunter. His praise wasn't just generic front office lip service, it felt genuine, deliberate, and almost prophetic. It was as if Berry was laying the groundwork, setting the scene for what now seems inevitable. Travis Hunter, with all his dynamic talent and two-way versatility, being selected by the Cleveland Browns with a number 2 overall pick. Hunter is more than just a highly rated player. He's a sensation, a two-way phenom capable of lining up as a lockdown cornerback and an electric wide receiver, often in the same game. His athleticism is undeniable. His instincts, especially on defense, are special. His ability to impact both sides of the ball is rare. So rare, in fact, that many front offices around the league view him as a unicorn. But it's not just his on-field versatility that makes him such an alluring target. It's his mentality. Hunter plays with a competitive edge that screams NFL superstar. He's relentless, fearless, and unbothered by the spotlight. If anything, he thrives in it. So when Berry raved about Hunter's skill set and character, he wasn't just stating facts. He was making a statement about the future of this franchise. At this stage, it would be genuinely shocking if the Browns went in another direction. The selection of Hunter at number 2 feels as inevitable as it is exciting. Barring a last-minute trade or seismic shift in the draft landscape, Cleveland appears to have locked in on its man, and what a cornerstone piece he would be. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. While Travis Hunter may headline this year's draft for Cleveland, he is only the first of many crucial decisions the front office must make. The Browns enter this draft with a total of 10 picks. And more significantly, 3 additional selections inside the top 100. That level of draft capital is rare, and it presents a golden opportunity for the franchise to address multiple areas of need, particularly on offense, where several glaring holes remain. Let's start under center. Quarterback remains perhaps the most pressing issue on the roster. Despite past investments and numerous attempts to stabilize the position, Cleveland finds itself in a familiar spot, searching for its long-term answer at QB. The 2024 season exposed those cracks once again, and the urgency to find a capable signal caller has never been higher. There's a growing sense that the Browns may not be content to walk away from this draft without securing a new quarterback to develop, or perhaps even compete for the starting job. That possibility has fueled speculation that Cleveland could double down at the position, selecting not just one, but potentially 2 quarterbacks over the course of the draft. It's a bold idea, but not without precedent. The notion of taking multiple quarterbacks isn't common, but in situations of great uncertainty, it can be a strategy rooted in logic. Cleveland needs insurance, they need options, and they need to increase their odds of finding the guy. Whether that means taking a high upside passer early or rolling the dice on a developmental prospect on day 3. Don't be surprised if the Browns put more than one quarterback on the board by the end of the weekend. Beyond quarterback, the offensive backfield as a whole needs attention. Running back is another position that demands urgent reinforcements. With uncertainty surrounding the health and long-term availability of key contributors, the Browns are likely to explore multiple options in this year's class. There are several intriguing backs who could be available in the middle rounds, and Cleveland's scouting department has reportedly done extensive homework on a number of them. The goal here will be to find someone who can complement the current group while also possessing the upside to take over lead duties if necessary. This draft could provide that answer. The situation on the offensive line, specifically at tackle, isn't much more comforting. Cleveland's once dominant front has shown signs of wear in recent seasons. Injuries and inconsistencies have raised questions about both the left and right tackle positions. With such a critical need to protect whoever ends up being the quarterback of the future, the Browns may use one of their early picks to solidify the edge of their line. There are some potential plug-and-play options in this draft class, and grabbing a reliable lineman could go a long way in stabilizing the entire offense. Tight end is yet another area that can't be ignored. While the Browns do have some talent, at the position there's still room for improvement, especially when it comes to depth and versatility. Adding a tight end who can stretch the field, block in line, and serve as a security blanket for a young quarterback would be an invaluable asset. This year's draft features a handful of players who fit that mold, and the Browns could very well dip into that pool in the early or middle rounds. In sum, the offensive side of the ball could dominate Cleveland's draft strategy this year, and for good reason. The roster is incomplete. The foundation is shaky. And if the Browns are serious about becoming true contenders, they must use this draft as a springboard to fortify their most vulnerable spots. But there's also the reality that defense still matters a lot. Even with Travis Hunter in the mix, there will be decisions to make on that side of the ball as well. Depth is always important, particularly in the secondary and at linebacker. Injuries are inevitable, and smart teams plan for attrition. Adding another defensive back to play alongside Hunter, or to allow him to play more freely moving between positions, could elevate the entire unit. Similarly, linebacker remains a position where the Browns could use more speed, physicality, and depth. All in all, this final mock draft offers a roadmap to what could be a transformative week for the Cleveland Browns. It starts with Travis Hunter, a generational talent, a game changer, and a player who could redefine the Browns' defensive identity. But it can't stop there. This team needs much more. They need a quarterback or two. They need a running back who can take over when the moment calls for it. They need tackles who can keep the offense upright and moving. They need tight ends who can make life easier for their signal caller and create mismatches across the field. The pieces are out there. The capital is available. The plan is taking shape. As Thursday night approaches, all eyes will be on Cleveland. Not just to see who they take at number 2, but to see how aggressive, how calculated, and how committed they are to building something sustainable. This is not just a draft. It's a reckoning, a moment that will be remembered by the fan base for years to come. And when the dust settles, the hope in Cleveland is that the future will look a lot clearer and a lot brighter than it did before. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. As the NFL draft approaches, Cleveland Browns fans are eager to see how the team will shape its future. While many eyes are on the first-round selections and the high-profile college prospects that could soon become the face of the franchise, there's a quiet but important storyline emerging in Cleveland, the role of veteran quarterback Joe Flacco. Flacco's return to the Browns this offseason raised a few eyebrows, but when you consider the factors that influence his decision, it begins to make a lot of sense. For one, Flacco is no stranger to the organization. His familiarity with Kevin Stefanski's offense is a key asset. He knows the system, knows the coaches, and he already has the trust of many of his teammates. That kind of comfort level can't be understated when you're a 17-year veteran. And of course, there's the fact that he's still in the mix for the starting quarterback job. With the Browns looking to add a rookie signal caller to the fold, Flacco sees an opportunity to both compete and contribute. But what no one really expected was that Flacco might also find himself in the role of mentor. This wasn't something he actively pursued when he signed on to return to Cleveland, but it's a role that seems destined to fall in his lap. With the Browns likely to select a rookie quarterback in the draft, that young player will need someone to show them the ropes. Who better than a Super Bowl winning quarterback with nearly 2 decades of experience in the league? However, Flacco is not someone who goes out of his way to position himself as a mentor. In fact, it's not even a role he feels he needs to intentionally adopt. For him, mentorship is simply a byproduct of being part of a competitive and knowledgeable quarterback room. As Flacco explained during a recent press conference, I don't think anybody ever really views themselves as a mentor, solely as a mentor. I think we all want to go out there and compete and play. I think if you're in the quarterback room for a day or two, you could probably understand that things like that naturally come up. This sentiment isn't new for Flacco. Just last year, he found himself in a similar situation as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. In 2023, the Colts selected Anthony Richardson out of Florida with the number 4 overall pick, hoping to groom him as the future of their franchise. Richardson's rookie season, unfortunately, was marred by a shoulder injury, but he returned in 2024 with the goal of reclaiming the starting job. Flacco, now a backup in Indy, shared time with Richardson, rotating in and out of the starting spot. It wasn't ideal for either quarterback, but it gave Flacco a chance to offer guidance and share insights on what it takes to succeed at the highest level. Despite the similarities between the situations in Indianapolis and Cleveland, Flacco sees his role in Cleveland playing out differently. With a rookie quarterback coming into the Browns fold, Flacco may very well find himself as the starter come week 1, giving the rookie a chance to learn behind him. And while Flacco isn't actively seeking out a mentorship role, it's clear that his wealth of experience will be invaluable to the young QB, whether he recognizes it or not. For Flacco, the key to effective mentorship is simply being himself. He doesn't need to actively set out to teach. He's lived through enough situations, faced enough challenges, and played enough football to naturally pass on wisdom. He's been through the ups and downs of the NFL, and as he explained, I've played a lot of football, and I have a lot of different experiences, and there's a certain way that I see it, and there's a certain way I can talk about footwork and reads and those things, and I think they naturally come up. Flacco's perspective on mentorship also underscores a larger point. In any competitive quarterback room, the act of mentoring often happens without anyone explicitly trying. I think when you just have a competitive, good quarterback room, you don't really have to worry about being a mentor. You do you, and you compete, and you have fun, and conversations come up, and everybody learns from it. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Browns, shares this view. For him, the most effective mentorship comes from the veterans simply doing their jobs. The example they set both on and off the field speaks volumes to the younger players. I think guys showing up and doing their job is a great example for young players at all positions, Stefanski said. I can think, just on our team, some of the leaders maybe aren't the most vocal. But we tell those rookies like, hey, go attach yourself to that guy. Maybe not literally, but see when he's getting in the building, to see what he does when he gets on the field. What type of notes is he taking? What's his process before a game? Stefanski's point emphasizes that developing the young quarterback isn't just about giving them direct coaching or teaching them playbook concepts. It's about creating an environment where the rookie can observe, absorb, and learn. Being a sponge is critical. I think young players have to be really good observers of these veterans. And if the veterans are able to impart that knowledge explicitly, that's great. But I think there's so much you can pick up just by being a great observer in the building and out of the building as well. That's exactly what Flacco brings to the table. He doesn't need to sit down with a rookie every day to go over plays and drills. Instead, the rookie will be able to learn just by watching him prepare for games, by seeing the discipline and professionalism that Flacco has maintained throughout his career. And in doing so, the rookie quarterback will pick up valuable lessons that can be taught in a meeting room or during practice. These are the lessons that come from years of experience, from being in the heat of battle, from learning how to manage the ups and downs of an NFL season. As the Browns prepare for the draft and the inevitable arrival of a new quarterback, the thing is clear. Joe Flacco will be a key part of the team's future, even if that future involves a lot of mentoring in ways he never expected. The veteran quarterback's leadership, both on and off the field, will play a pivotal role in helping the Browns' next QB reach their full potential. Flacco may not see himself as a mentor, but in reality, that's exactly what he will be. A steady, reliable presence who can help guide the next generation of quarterbacks in Cleveland. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you like the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!